Yeah, these winds are really going and going.
Yeah. You know where it's like really strong because there's no friction.
Yeah.
Like along the Gulf beaches, the Gulf Basin beaches.
Oh.
Like from pretty much St. Beach up towards like.
See, my concern was Gulf Boulevard would be
Gulf
inundated.
Boulevard, yeah, but
That-
right now you probably can't access it because it's flooded. I
Yeah.
don't know if you saw earlier.
Otherwise, I would have set up on that side, but you can't access it.
Treasure Island is already underwater.
Yeah.
Boarding,
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to
about
access it by
300
car.
miles to the south of us.
Yeah, I say that's why I always pick this spot because they don't cut off access to this spot.
Exactly. I did see some police officers, but I think something happened. Like, I don't know if someone got injured or
Yeah.
a person kind of like laying on the road. I don't know what happened. So they had to close off, like where I got out to 4th Avenue on 375.
Really?
And then I had to take this like brick road. And that like, it was like a narrow.
Oh, those little brick loads?
Yeah.
Hey, watch this for rotation. It almost looked like it was rotating for a minute
You're right.
because we would be on the
Yeah.
east side of that rotation. So we would get enhanced winds out of the southeast if there is a funnel right in this area. We're still good surge wise. It still has to come up 2 feet to flood where we are.
Right.
So we're still actually, to be honest, I'm actually surprised. I would have thought this would have been inundated by now, but we're doing really a lot better than I feared in this
Yeah.
spot. Just, coming to this spot ever since I was a kid, like, I'm surprised this spot is still dry, which is good. Honestly, it's a miracle. So, yeah, it would need to come up 2 feet for this parking lot to flood.
Well, the surge is probably going to start coming in like
Soon, yeah. As soon as this wind turns out of the southwest,
just offshore.
yeah, because right now it's out of the southeast, but as soon as it turns out of the south-southwest,
Good app.
yeah, as soon as we get that south-southwest wind, that's when that surge is going to come raging in. Look how low these clouds are to the ground, Caleb. These are low. Like, you get a quick spin up the water spout very fast here in this environment. Did you see, like, some of the thermodynamics, the helicity, the instability? Like, the soundings were favorable for EF2 and 3 tornadoes.
Recording it, if you don't mind.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Yeah. Wait. Oh, that fell off? Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Now they both, it is rotating like that.
Wow.
Like,
That is some
I'm gonna wind
rotation.
the window up again, 'cause it's starting to-
Yeah, good idea. Good call.
And then coming in here is 520 and possible rotation with this wind coming in.
Looking for any rotation here. Any low-level rotation leading to funnels or tornadoes. You get those in the outer bands of a hurricane. So we're looking for any rotation amongst these strong winds here in St. Petersburg, right on the western side of Tampa Bay. And we're anticipating an 8 to 10 foot storm surge here in a few hours. So we're going to be watching. That's going to come in at low tide, luckily. So that may actually lean towards the 8 foot storm surge range as opposed to 10 foot, where it would be 10 foot if the surge was coming in at high tide. But because the surge is coming in at low tide, it's more likely to be 8 foot. Unless this hurricane gets much stronger, hits Cat 5, then all bets are off and there's going to be a big surge regardless. The core of the Cat 4 and 5 winds is staying about 70 miles offshore.
What can happen next, but if you take the time to prepare right now, well, you're not going to have to worry about how the markets or politics or anything else may impact your nest egg. So you need to call Steve and Elizabeth Holland and their team, the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors. Now, Steve and Elizabeth can help you. Seven two two eight 673 and plan for your retirement today. And remember to vote in November. The Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors 727-228.
Our experiences are documented.
Uh-huh.
We're 107 miles from the high.
Wow, that's close.
Pretty much 100 miles.
I think that's the closest we've ever been to a major that's in the Gulf in decades.
Right? And now it was a little bit further out.
Oh yeah. Wow. Look at those trees. Look at those palm trees. Wow.
Oh my God.
This is insanity. Wow.
That's for real. I feel like that's what it's like out there.
Oh, I was there. I got hit by several twigs that actually bruise. I had a couple of bruises on my thigh. Yeah, the twigs hit me really hard. Like I was in a little bit of pain, kind of self-soothe as when you were arriving. Yeah, you really gotta be. These hurricanes, they can really. You get hit with the wrong thing, you know. You gotta be really careful.
Oh, wow, there's one in Beach.
Oh yeah. I'm not surprised by that. Gulf Boulevard is probably populated by sharks and fishes and dolphins by now. Here comes a really big gust.
North Florida is just getting hammered south of us. They have another tornado warning. That's like the third one.
You know, on the HRR, they were showing gusts of 95 to 100 over Sarasota and Manatee County. I think that was the tornadoes that they picked up on. That was the HRR run this morning
Okay.
at 3 a.m. That was the 3 a.m. HRR one, the 03Z. So that run actually picked up on the twisters there, on all that tornadoes outbreaks. Actually, you know what? As the center gets further north, we may get those tornadic bands. Because it sounds like the southeast quadrant has the most favorable environment for tornadoes.
There's some drier air in the south. There's some drier air right now.
So it's acting like a pseudo dry line like they have in the Midwest
Yeah.
to help fuel
It'll
tornadoes.
start to fill in though as this storm continues. As it continues to strengthen.
Oh yeah.
I saw the western side looked like it's starting to get more better defined. That was where it was lacking. But it
Oh
kind of,
man.
You know what it's doing? That trochoidal wobble.
Yeah.
Sometimes through that trochoidal wobble, what it's doing is like it will make you appear that the eye's coming closer, right? They always say every wobble counts, but then it'll wobble back to the west.
So it's kind of like a stair step approximately. So it steps to the east and then steps to the north and then steps to the east and then steps to the north. And then you take, what I do is I just take an average over maybe 10, over 2-3 hours, and I draw a line, and that usually helps me, you know, distinguish between a wobble versus a turn on these hurricanes. Yeah, I think once we get the surge, this is unfortunately going to be a memorable hurricane for all the wrong reasons here. I mean, there's no way you get a large Cat 3 with a wind field this big without a major damaging surge. I hate to say it. Just the physics and the geography of where we live. Yeah, these bands are unrelenting. See, if it wasn't for my concern about the pop-up tornadoes that can injure you when you're by the water, I would be out by the water. But with all those tornado vortex signatures, it's compelling me to stay in the car. Otherwise, I'd be walking outside, but I saw like at least 3 or 4 TVSs on there. And that's just like, okay, you know what? Time to stay in the vehicle until those blow by. I hope they close the bridges finally.
It did, yeah. Howard Franklin closed.
Oh, good. Because I know it was open and there were waves crashing over it.
Waves were just it was starting to come over like
Yeah.
like a tidal wave.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good. I'm glad they closed it because that was just getting out of hand over there with that surge crashing over the bridge. Yep. Yeah, those fronds are flying. And these are the fronds that survived Debbie. So Debbie, Idalia, and Ian took down all of the weak trees and weak branches, and the ones that remain are the much stronger ones that survived the hurricanes the last few years. So when these start coming down, that means you're dealing with serious wind. I mean, it just sort of sounds like a jet plane. It sounds like a jet plane overhead. Like we're like, you know, with the wind, with the way it hits these trees. Or freight train. If we were in a Cat 5 eye wall, we'd have the freight train sound effect. Reminiscent of what they get in violent tornadoes. I'm keeping these glasses on so sand, if it doesn't injure my eyeball.
Yes, if this is the strongest, the waves are going to get stronger.
Yep, they're gonna get a bit stronger, possibly quite a bit stronger. This storm is still rapidly intensifying. Category 3, I wouldn't doubt. I wouldn't doubt a Category 5 before landfall. Unfortunately, in the Big Bend, a catastrophic situation up in the Big Bend of Florida. Oh.
plane is visible, it is getting.
So she's making a run for Cat
I
5.
think it's making a run for Cat 4, right? Yeah.
So she's making a run for Cat 5.
I might stretch it, but definitely a Cat 4 at this point.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, she's got what, 5 hours to
right
land.
now, it's starting, you can definitely see it's starting to pick up speed now. It's really starting to move.
Oh, got you.
In a couple hours, it's going to be in landfall.
You're right. So 4 is probably the more plausible forecast. I'm gonna roll up my window. It's getting heavy now.
that wind energy, the fetch, as the wind is in contact with the Gulf, that is continuing to move the Gulf towards the west coast of Florida, towards the Big Bend area of Florida. The storm surge peaks in the Big Bend area of Florida. But we are definitely witnessing it already here, and it's going to continue for hours and hours well into tonight.
And then for our friends who are maybe listening, or those who have friends and family in the Big Bend area, in Tallahassee, what does the track tell us about where the storm is going to hit? And with these lightning strikes near the center of the storm that we're starting to see, is this thing still intensifying?
It is still intensifying. We're at a high end 3, and so it's not impossible that it may touch 4 status and the Hurricane Center decides to pull the trigger on 4. Don't know, that's their choice, but a high end 3 or a low end 4 is a big hurricane. And thankfully, the good news is the live shots that I've seen from all the media outlets around the Big Bend area, the place looks deserted. That I'm so glad to see it, because it's going to be non-survivable. Non-survivable.
Yeah.
The storm surge there. The Tallahassee, beautiful city covered with trees, like 55% tree canopy right over Tallahassee. Of course, they're concerned about the hurricane force winds knocking them down. It's going to be the center path and just east of center. Now, as of the last 45 minutes, there's been a little bit of a jog east of downtown Tallahassee for the center path. That would be great news for downtown Tallahassee. That would be terrible news for communities just east of Tallahassee, because that means the fastest winds would be just slightly to the east. Not saying Tallahassee's in the clear. Understand, they're under hurricane warning, and they're going to get hurricane wind gusts in the capital city. But the absolute worst wind will be in the northeast quadrant, and that will be along just east of the
Oh, yeah.
Dude, check this out.
Yeah, I'm like a mosque of a flame with these winds, brother.
That was the Howard Franklin Bridge.
Yep, that's the clip I saw, and it was still open at that time.
Yeah. So everybody was saying it was fake, right? And then they got it from the FHP, so they kind of short clipped it. But that's
Yeah,
wild.
that would not be fake in weather like this. That's as real as it gets, baby.
Yeah.
Look at these
I know.
winds.
I really want to go out, but it's crazy right there. You know, you can see the light path.
Yeah, I mean, like safety first. Always put your safety first.
If anything, that I just wanted that the bathrooms there.
Yeah.
I would just hide there.
You can. I mean, you can if you want. Just don't walk in the fall zone of any tree.
No, I won't. I just want to go do a drive out there, and then hopefully we get a bit of a wall so you can come out. We can film a little bit together.
I think so, because I was looking at the HRR earlier.
Yeah.
After this, there's like a long arm band that's still coming through.
Yeah.
As soon as this ends, there's going to be a lull before probably maybe a 30 to 45 minute lull before individual squalls start redeveloping.
Coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
But it all depends. It will all commence once this long feeder band that's really training over us ends.
Right, let's look at that radar scope there. Take a look at how things are shaping up. Like tornado warnings are crazy in Manatee County now.
Yeah, they're having a full-on like Midwest style tornado outbreak down there.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if there's going to be any like damage, you know?
Yeah.
Wow, those waves are high, crashing.
And you know, the cells that are tornado warned in Manatee,
Yeah.
they're giving us these outflow boundaries from them, even as new cells are rotating in from the southwest.
Right, yeah. So you're right. So once it looks as though this, whatever we're in right now, I mean, especially we can kind of zoom in, so we're up here. We'll have a little bit more coming up from Anna Maria.
And then after that, it looks like, yeah, there's going to be a bit of a lull in between those cells.
So that would be a perfect time to kind of go out. I want to see these.
So the latitude of the cyclone center is it parallel with our latitude?
Yeah, it's exactly at 27 point. I have it up on there.
Okay, so now our winds will be due south then.
Yeah, it's at 20. So we're at 27.7. Then it's centered at 27.9. So I mean, you're only about 0.5 degree off.
So we're going to see less of the south-southeast and more of the south-southwest wind.
Yeah.
And that's going to commence the surge. That's why that's so important. That's going to commence the surge issues. Luckily, we're at low tide right now, but still. That's a very good observation that you made about the latitude, because that's going to be huge. That is like... That is wild. Those trees are taken. These trees were just born strong, you know.
They were born strong.
These are tough
Palm
trees.
trees are ones that usually survive that even the strongest of like category.
Like I've seen pictures beaches where all the structures are swept away and destroyed, and the palm trees are the only thing left.
Put heavy coats, pillows, blankets, any type of material that you could put there on top of yourself. Make sure.
Pretty strong.
Oh yeah, I bet. It was done pushing me over before you came. Right before you came,
okay.
it shoved me it shoved me over.
That's crazy. I'm gonna drive back around over there.
Yeah. Do you think?
I'm gonna film a little bit over that way.
Absolutely.
There's a storm surge over that way. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh yeah, do your thing, brother.
Parking lot
Actually,
over
that's
there.
perfect because I'm getting this angle and you're getting that angle.
that angle.
So we're
Right.
making a perfect team here. Yeah, do your thing, brother.
Of course. And once we get through some of the bands and it lights up a little bit, we'll go
And,
out.
and remember my number one safety rule: stay away from the fall zone of trees or any metal signs.
Yeah.
As long as you stay out of the fall zone of those, you're
gonna be
the only
fine.
thing that hits you is drops of water.
Drops of water, that's right.
That's what you get. That's how you got to position yourself.
You're right about that.
Oh,
It
you're
comes
right.
first.
There is some surge over there.
Yeah, you see it?
That pickup truck.
That pickup truck, yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm about to go down that way.
If it starts coming up fast, we can evacuate 1.5 blocks that way where it gets higher. I'll
Okay.
show you a spot that's safe. You got to go down 1 block
Yeah.
to this is 12th Avenue. You got to go to 11th Avenue and then go up one street to Beach Drive. Once
Yeah.
you're there, you're at an elevation 5-6 feet higher than where we are. So it's
Okay.
really just 2 blocks.
Perfect.
But that'll be once this starts to flood, and that the idea of that is to protect your car from saltwater damage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You don't want that to happen. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go down there.
Oh, do your thing, brother. Do your thing. We'll cover both angles here.
Cover both